says we're live. Let me just confirm. Awesome, we're live. Yay.
Hey, it's working.
Hi everyone, just 1 second as we would share the links on our socials and then we'll do an introduction.
Yep.
Give us a shout in the chat to let us know that you can hear us.
Yes, please.
Please.
Let us know if you can hear us and we all go silent.
Yeah. Hi, MC. Thank you. You can hear us, right? I'm assuming that's a yes.
Yeah, there's okay. A little delay from Zoom to YouTube.
Great. Thank you, Julie. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Alana. I'm here with the beautiful Lightworkers613. And we're here for a live channeling that I haven't done in so long on my channel. So I'm so excited to bring you guys here so that we can just, Kali Ma says, talk some shit.
So we're starting on the right foot.
Yeah.
Sharing, I'm sorry. That's why I'm looking down. Just want to show
you. It's okay. Flavia, tell us about yourself then.
Well,
Annie is posting.
What do you want to know about myself?
Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Well, that's such an interesting question because I don't know what to answer. What do I do? I'm a Reiki master. I do sacred geometry drawings. I'm one half of the Lightworkers613, and we do channelings and live classes. We work with sacred sexuality and light language activations and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So I would have said the same thing. And Annie, what about yourself?
On channel, I am a multidimensional channel and Akashic Records reader and so many other labels. But I love bringing these beings through so we can, answer questions and just share their wisdom. So thank you very much for having us here, Lana.
Sure, I love working with you ladies. And we are channeling Kali. And do you want to announce the surprise guest?
Yes, I just shared it everywhere on the social medias. We are channeling Kali and Isis, goddess Isis. So she is here with us today. And I think it's going to be so much fun because that's such an interesting combo, right?
Yeah.
Kali and Isis, lots of fire.
So I had no clue that it would be Isis until like 10 minutes ago. But I was also like, it's all good. I completely trust you guys. So like, I don't really need to know anyway. So I'm really excited that it's Isis. And I think that it's so interesting that, let's talk a little bit about the Kali Ma artwork that you did. And that's on Etsy, because I was thinking earlier, it's really interesting that we're doing this around the new moon. And the artwork also has like she's birthing something, right? And it's a very interesting portrayal of Kali. And it definitely signifies a more deeper understanding of destruction and rebirth, I feel like. So can you tell us a bit about how Kali Ma kind of entered your space and instructed you about this visual?
Yes, it's interesting because I mostly connect with this, let's say, aspect of Kali whenever it is that I sense her and feel her. Mostly I feel that strong divine mother essence that she holds. And at the same time, I don't know if it's because I do not fear not only her, but the whole idea of being destructed and being reborn, that I never, oh my God, Stella jumped on me. And then I don't know if that's why, I never really see her as that, the image that most people actually see, with tongue out and holding the head and lots of arms and all that. I still see her fierce, and I wanted to convey that in the art, in her eyes, and how she can totally like end you like this, right?
Mhm.
Because it's one of the roles that she plays. But still, I see so much of that cosmic mother in her, and how she is that creation energy that brings universes about, and that's
Mhm.
how I prefer even working with her. So every time that I see her, I see mostly that mother side, I'll say, more, a little bit more gentle than usually, people portray her. And I'm not fully sure why it is that she shows herself like this to me every time. But when I thought about creating an artwork with her, that we talked about, like, oh, let's Alana will write the message, and I can draw her picture. As soon as I did that, I started connecting with that version of her, and then she showed me I will only see her like from here up, and then she showed me like the huge belly and the universe, and that's the hardest thing to actually convey in picture, like the mist of the universe and how everything just it mixed together, and it's everything. And every time I see her, I see Shiva behind her. So at some point, I'm probably going to create both of them together. But it was a lot of fun to connect. And most of the times when I draw these beings, I just get like a picture of them, So she wasn't standing there posing. She was just like, she shows up as she wants to be portrayed, and I just tend to respect whatever it is that I see, and I bring it about. But yeah, it was a lot of fun because she's completely different too. She's blue. So it's different to, paint and everything. But it was
Yeah.
awesome.
So this artwork is on Lightworkers613's Etsy, and it includes a digital download and then a channeled message of Kalima that I channeled. And as soon as you sent me the artwork, I looked at it. I think it was first thing in the morning. I looked at it. I was still in bed. And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to channel something later on. And then Kalima was like, nope, I'm ready now. I was like, all right, let's do this. So that
No
was fun.
stress.
That was a fun collaboration.
Yeah, that was so fast, that you sent me the message, and I'm like, wow, there we go.
She was like ready. So, it wasn't me, it was her.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, Flavia will be facilitating. So I'm going to get out of the way and be in the zone. And I don't really know if I'm going to be looking at comments because I'd really like to focus because I'm easily distracted.
Okay.
And we have so much fun. So it's even more easy to get distracted.
Yep.
We already have one question. Is Kalima's energy similar to Lilith in a way?
I'll answer this as my human self. Yes, I personally see them as very similar energies. I kind of see Kali as a fractal of Lilith in a way. So that's how I experience her. But also very unique essences at the same time. So I haven't publicly channeled Lilith. When I channel her privately, she feels different to me than Kali Ma. And so hopefully that makes sense in terms of who they are. It's almost like when we channel Myrrh has that fractal of Lilith in her. And so that's what it's like. It's also kind of like, I'm thinking of like Annie and Sarah in a way. So Annie is not Sarah, but she has that essence.
And how
What
do
do
you
you think?
feel, how do you feel Kalima? How does she show up for you?
She shows up almost Medusa-like for me. And I'm not, but I'm like never scared like you. I'm never scared of her. It just feels so loving and mothering. And I think that you mentioned something about how you don't feel scared of her, but at the same time, you know that she can just destroy something. And that really represents us being in our feminine power. Like we are fully capable of just causing havoc, but we don't have to. We don't always have to, at least. We can if it's appropriate. So I think that's why she comes through a lot when there are choices that we need to make and we're just sitting idle and not making the choices and feeling powerless. She's really great at just causing you to focus, pay attention, and make a decision for yourself instead of waiting for someone to decide for you, someone or something. So that's how she shows up for me. She is just, not scary for me at all, just very loving and even nurturing. And so I feel very much a part of her.
Yeah, I can totally sense her in you 100%. And I have a question for her. If people feel intimidated or scared by her, so what's the right? What would she tell someone if they told them?
She's saying she's challenging people to connect with her even more deeply, because if you're afraid, then that's causing you to make note of something. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of a powerful feminine figure who doesn't give a fuck, is what she's saying? And are you afraid of speaking your truth? So she challenges you to digest what she's going to be saying today, and even looking at other channelings as well, and asking yourself, what is it that you are suppressing within you?
And you are exploring more with her this month, right? In your
new yes, thank you.
About that.
Thank you. So I just launched a Patreon. It's under the URL Alana Heavenly, so patreon.com Alana Heavenly, and it's a spirit channeling circle. I'm guiding people to teach them how to channel so we can practice channeling together, because as you know, channeling is a practice, and if you don't do it consistently, you have to push yourself to do it if this is something that you feel guided to do. So I'm providing a safe and loving space for us to connect with Christ conscious energies, and they're going to give us a blessing as well. So there's 2 tiers. There's one tier with just the channeled messages, and so I'll provide at least 1 channeled message a month so that you can connect with the essence. And then later on in the month, probably on the weekends, I'm going to try to do, we'll have that channeling circle where we'll all come together and channel. As I mentioned when we had the podcast episode before, I learned by I had to do it. My teacher was like, go ahead. So taking that approach, because sometimes we just need to be pushed off that cliff and we need to do it. So that's something that's happening. It's already live. And I know the first circle is happening the day of the Sarah channeling. I don't remember what day that is. It's either the 24th or the 25th. Do you remember?
Yes, 25th this month. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so that's going to be happening on that day. And should we talk about Temple of the Cosmos before we get into Isis? And I'd love for her to tell us why she's here, introduce us.
Yeah. Let's talk about the temple.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. You go. So we also just launched a project together, the 3 of us, that is called the Temple of the Cosmos. And it is a sacred temple where we have monthly discussions, is how Sarah is putting it now. We are channeling Sarah and Myrrh. Both of them are daughters of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And we ended up coming across this idea. Well, Alana did actually, and Myrrh, they connected with it. And it just felt so appropriate to bring this kind of knowledge right now. So we are talking every month about a very important theme in our spiritual journey, is what I'll say. So we've already talked about purpose, and this month we're talking about prosperity, and we go deep into what it means for us and how we feel these things and how we are creating with these technologies that are offered for us. And if we need to break any patterns, any beliefs or anything, we have techniques every month to empower you to go into these things. So basically it is the work that we did in the sacred temples with Isis and with the Lemurians and with the Magdalenas, but brought into a more, I would say, modern point of view and modern techniques. So it's very, very practical the way that I perceive it. It's like we have a lot of practices, a lot of things that they're also very simple for us to do, like things that we can just implement in our day-to-day lives to work with these technologies, to work with these energies. So we are feeling 100% empowered in our journey, in our human awareness, right? So it's been a lot of fun. So if you guys want to join us, it's Temple of the Cosmos on Patreon, and we are on everywhere too.
Yeah.
Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, we're having a Discord chat tomorrow with that. And Kalima is pushing me to say something about this because you're not giving yourself enough credit because you found Mer, you discovered her energy.
Can you see Mer rolling her eyes? You found Mer.
I specifically told Mer I'm not dealing with her today. Today is Kalima Day, so no, I don't see her.
Good for you.
But you, the historian, you came across her essence and you brought her to light. So, and that's kind of what Kalima is here to talk about as well, how we as a community can come together and create and collaborate these things. And it all takes speaking up, and because you had the balls to say, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm seeing, when no one else was talking about it, right? And then other people happen to connect with that same energy. And then I got messages from Mer, and then it just spiraled into this beautiful creation, right? And that's us being in our feminine essence and trusting. So please give yourself credit for that, because that's amazing.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, that's one thing that I've been enjoying a lot. And I've been perceiving these beings, but not really allowing them to give me much of their own essence, giving me much of their own personality before, exactly because of that. Like, no one's ever channeled you before. So it's been like eons on earth and no one knows your name yet. Why do you want to come for me, you know? But they keep knocking at my door. And now with Mer, I think she was one of the first.
Okay.
She wants to pee, I think.
Let me put her there. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. We have a puppy.
You were saying with Mer.
Yes, with Mer, it feels like she was one of the first ones to come up like in the light. And as I am so connected with Yeshua's essence, as I am so connected with the family and the Magdalenas, it makes a lot of sense that one of their kids would be the first one to show up like this. And she has so much to offer, so much wisdom, so many things that she's been wanting to share, and she's been sharing with other names. But it's something that I've been having a lot of fun now, is really giving these people a voice, you know, like with Isis, we have her here today. I connected with her first daughter, which I have never in any legend or tale or channel ever heard about Al-Sarat, that is her first daughter, even born before Horus. So it's just super fascinating. And now I just did what Kalima does, you know? It's like, you know what? Don't give a shit, and now just bring these beings, because they should be given a voice, right? And if I can inspire even like other people to connect more with them, or just to spark that light, you know, that recognition is there. I remember you connected with Mer, Indira connected a lot with Mer as well, and other people. And it's just so fascinating. Now I am 100% just, you know, like, yeah, I'm going to do it like you did with your Patreon. I was like, you know what? Let's just let it be.
So yeah, so you can take a look at Annie and Flavia's Patreon, Lightworkers613, to see more of the, why does Kalima want to call them characters? Characters, the things that you are birthing. There's a lot on sacred sexuality and everything, so it's really cool stuff. I love it. All right.
Awesome.
Any human questions before I get fully into my Kali mode?
This question is not a human question. Not yet. Do you want to talk about why Isis wanted to come?
Well, she's saying that she has a lot of that Lilith essence herself, and she was a channel of Kali in her time. She was primarily a channel of Gaia, and but she connected with so many other different beings as well. And she's saying now that she loved to bring that part of herself as Kali to other people, to the temples, because it really empowers others, to step into their own power. And that's why, for example, I don't know if you guys ever seen her interaction like Isis with Merlin. Whenever Merlin shows up, and he can be so grumpy, he can be like, he wants to cause chaos and things like that. He's very human in a way. And then Isis just shows up in that ball of fire, and she has zero fucks to give. So if you need that kind of, we'll say, protection, she brings that through. And she's saying that that is my inner Kalima. And she's saying many people have seen that up front, and Osiris is here too, and he's like, yep. When she would just choose to burn in flames as the phoenix that she is, or she would choose to allow something like that to occur, so that rebirth could happen. So she's saying that she did call her Kali at some point, but she had some other names. And she's calling her Fire Mother, is what she's calling her, which is beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So she's saying that she has a strong connection with Kali, and that she loves her so much. And so much of what she went through as a human, Isis is saying, was only possible because she allowed that Kali to emerge from her. So in many places in her alchemy, many times during her life, that she needed that 100% trust in herself, 100% love in herself, she would tap back into that Kali essence in her that really has absolutely zero shits to give, and will just do what needs to be done. So she's saying that she would invoke her a lot when she needed to do some inner alchemy, right? For example, in some of the timelines when Osiris died, and she needed to, create, or she wanted to create that alchemy to bring him back in a way. She said that she needed to step into that Kali, so nothing would stray her away, nothing would diminish her focus in the things that she needed to do, and she would unapologetically be herself and go and do those things because she knew the outcome. As we know, she's a huge oracle, she could see into timelines and things like that, so she knew what that focus would give her. So whenever it is that she needed to, she's using funnel my fire, because sometimes if she would just let her fire out, it would be too much and she would be drowned in her own emotions, in her own. So Kali would help her kind of hone all of that and make that into something that is usable. And she's showing me something that I've been reading these books and now I can't stop talking about them. They have the siphons, so they use crystals to focus their power because they have so much power. So she's saying it's the same thing, and you can use that with the crystals like this. It helps you focus your power in something, so it's not scattered all over the place. So she's saying that's what Kali does for her, and that's what she wants to invite us to let Kali do for us, if Kali allows as well. She has a lot of respect, a lot of love for Kali. But she's saying that that's how she interprets and how she chose to work with the energy of Kali and Lilith and these beings that are less sentient in a way, is what she's saying. Yeah, that's why she came today.
That's beautiful. Does she have a message about the new moon or the energy? Kali is asking.
Yes, she says. She's saying we are in a pivotal time in our collective awareness that we must choose to allow ourselves to give those leaps of faith, is what we call them, into that unknown that we've been tapping into so strongly, you know, for so long. We've been receiving so many messages about this moment. She's saying spring and the conjunction of planets, so many things going on. So she's saying that what this new moon is bringing is the opportunity for us to connect with ourselves and trust that right now we are in full blossoming, full bloom as humanity. And even if we can't fully understand with the mind, and even if the mind will ask for more proof and will ask you for more concrete things, to just try to simmer all that down and center and allow the magic of the moon to bring this new energy into you. She's saying that with the moon being in Aries, is that how you say it? It brings both of that calming and the fire. So she's saying that it's perfect that Kali asks, because what this moon does is the same thing that the siphons or the crystals can do for you with your power, with your fire. You know, it can help you shape it into something that is going to work for you in a physical way, because she's saying that everything right now is much more focused on how you are experiencing things in your body, how you are feeling, you know, in your physical self, and the things that are being manifested in your so-called 3D world. Everything's about that now, because we've been working so much with the whole emotional part of ourselves, with our auras, with our energetic fields, with everything else, with the spirituality and even our psychic and everything like that. And for a very long time, mystics is what she's called, or light workers, or yogis, whatever you want to call, we've been neglecting the body a lot and what the body means. So she's saying that this moon also offers us the opportunity to just connect with your vessel, to connect with your body in a way that you can understand the miracle that it is and the beauty that it holds and the power that it has to just be, you know, to be present and to create, because that's the point. She's saying we choose to be on earth so then we can actually experience things in the physical way. Yes, as we are always connected with everything, and we are everything, and we are in every dimension, but we choose to focus. So she's saying, let's just think about how much power you hold just by the sheer idea that you can focus your consciousness in one single point and be there and feel like you are nowhere else. So you can feel like you are not in Lyra, or, you know, that you are not in Atlantis right now, or even there in Egypt with her, because we are focused here. And she's saying, do you think this is by mistake that we chose to focus like this, that we chose to be present, living 1 second at a time? She's saying it's by no mistake. It is God within you creating. So when we will start to fully give that the power and the attention it deserves. And she's saying it comes into you accepting your body, loving your body, and understanding the power that your vessel holds. So what this moon can do is exactly what she talked about that Kali did for her, and how it taught her how to work with that energy, because the Aries energy is like movement, right? I want to go and do it. I don't want to just sit around and wait for anything else. And the new moon is asking you to stand still. So how can you balance both things? How can you create that bridge of consciousness between your consciousness? And how can you hone this energy so then you can feel empowered and not let it take, you know, like it's a shadow over you? So use these energies very well. She is obviously extremely connected with the moon and with everything that it has to offer. So yeah.
Yes. And I believe that there's multiple planets in Aries. Like there's lots of fire energy right now. And what Kali is saying is there's a time to deconstruct and there's a time to construct. And it's important to realize when that time is and not get too hung up on the deconstruction that you miss out on the points of construction and reconstruction. So what she's saying now is that it's being highlighted everywhere is that this is a point of construction for many of us. And that this is kind of pointing to the shadow work that we've talked about in the past, about how we can get very deep into shadow work where all we're seeing is our shadow aspects and what we need to fix and everything. But there's a time when You're like, okay, this is done. This is demolished. Now I can rebuild. Now I can do what I've always dreamt of. Now I can create what I've always wanted to create. And she's saying that a lot of people put emphasis on her being like the goddess of destruction, but she's also the other side as well. And that she's the divine mother who creates too. She creates and destroys. And it's all loving. So if you've been destroying too much or seeing too much destruction, how can you rebuild? How can you pull in the opposing energy more and to create more of a equilibrium, is what she's saying, if that's what you choose. Remember that choice is always yours. Humans, she's saying, we as humans always, we tend to want to do things the harder way so that we can get the lesson deep in our heads multiple times so that we never forget it. And that's your creative choice, and you can do that. Or you can decide, let's switch it up and do something different, see what happens that way. That scares people. Being out of your comfort zone can be scary. But she's challenging a lot of us right now. She's challenging you to do something a little bit different out of your comfort zone and see what happens with that. She's saying, what is it going to happen? You're going to be scared shitless? Oh, well, pick up the shit, clean it up, and move forward. She's saying, like Stella, she has a wee-wee pad. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. You pooped, so what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be mourning about your poop, or gonna do something about it?
Her analogies reminded me of playing with Lego, because you got all those pieces and that's like life, and then you build something. But then if you want to continue playing, you put it apart and then you build something new. And
Yep. Sometimes you step on a Lego and that hurts like hell, but you gotta get over it.
You get over it. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's what I've been feeling a lot as well. Like we've been doing a lot of clearing, a lot of letting go, a lot of that. And a lot of us get too worried about this part, and it becomes our new cycle. So we are always there like, oh my God, what is it? What is the new thing that I need to release? What should I be releasing now? Instead of wondering, what should I be building? What can I be building? They don't like the word should. What can I build now with this energy, right? With this, in this space that I opened for myself. Because if we keep looking, we will always find something that we want to change, that we want to renew, that we want to burn away, right? And that's part of being human, is what Isis is saying. It's part of you being not only human, but a divine creator, because you want to go deeper into things and you want to experience everything you can in your, time as a human. But also you need to start just seeing the easy beauty that you hold and the endless opportunities. So what Isis is saying now is the other thing that this moon can show us, if we connect deep with it in our hearts, is the endless opportunities that are in every single breath that you take. And she's saying that sometimes when you think about opportunities, we just want that job, right? Or that path specific. But she's saying, get used to the idea of just wondering about, what are the opportunities that I have today? What opportunities do I have to work with today? I have the opportunity to choose to be happy. I have the opportunity to choose to do this or that, So as a human, we have so many opportunities all the time. So the more we train our minds into that, the easier it gets to go from one phase to the other. Because she's not diminishing the work that we can do, right? With this clearing and everything. Of course, she's not telling you to bypass these things when they start knocking at your door and just, screaming at your face, because some things need to go to open space for new things, of course. She's saying that as a community, we've been doing so much of that we need to bring the light to this other side. Like, okay, so what is it that we want to create today? And she's saying it is like Kali said, you just got to do it. It's not about, in this moment right now, she's saying that it's much more about just being brave and going for it than constructing your ideas and letting your mind run you over and just be, stuck there, instead of just taking that first step, whatever that first step is.
Mm-hmm.
What Kalima is saying is that we need to be a lot more mindful about what we're allowing into our temples and what we are allowing ourselves to create each and every day. What narrative are you continuing to play into? What narrative do you despise but continue to allow to be these main players in your life? And why is that? And what is the harm in shutting these people or things or storylines out? Is it because you're afraid of the nothingness? You're afraid of the void? You're afraid of just having complete peace? So ask yourselves that. Do that inquiry within yourself. She's also saying that's part of Temple of the Cosmos too, that type of inquiry within, but there's a lot of just dismissal and too much allowance of what you don't want in your lives. And she's saying that it can be an easy switch to just decide, I don't like this anymore. Enough. And then take the steps to make that change. And I have the Michael Jackson song in my head now. Do you hear that? I actually have a question from someone on my newsletter. Join my newsletter, guys, because I let them ask questions in advance. So I want to just ask this question before I forget. Okay, so this person's name is Tina. She would like to know what is blocking or limiting her with getting financial abundance for her and her daughter. Does her soul need energy clearing or healing to enhance? I have something from Kali first. Okay. So what Kali is saying is she wants you to recognize that your daughter sees every behavior, and what she would like you to do now, for Tina, is to put a little of Kali essence into her life, stick up for herself, don't take any bullshit, and remember that you are remarkable. She's saying that there's some narrative around being lesser than that has been playing for way too long. And it's something that her daughter sees as well. And she doesn't have to do that anymore. She doesn't have to play into other people's bullshit either. She doesn't need to create relationships that have that dynamic, that narcissist empath dynamic that people love to label. It just doesn't need to happen anymore. So when you find that you are having issues with abundance many times, you could see that playing out in your relationships too, and how you are leaking out your energy, how you're utilizing your energy in ways that you don't want to. That's what she wants you to take a look at on an energetic level, since you asked about the energy side of things. Anything from Isis?
Yeah, she's suggesting doing some inner alchemy regarding how you feel deserving of that abundance or how you don't. And I ask yourself, do you feel deserving to live an abundant life? And or do you feel like you need to be better in anything or in any way for you to actually become this abundance? Because abundance is an energy and it's always there. It's just about us realizing it, accepting it, loving it, and being present with it and allowing things to unfold for us. Because if you hold the belief that you need to release any blocks, if you hold the belief that anything can block you from that abundance, that's the first place you should tackle with your alchemy. Is why is it that I believe that me, the God that I am, can be blocked by anything at all? What is that? What's the tale that taught you that you could, in any case, any shape or form, that you could be harmed, that you could be stopped in any case, that anything in you could ever be blocked, or any energy, any source of energy in the universe can be blocked from you if you are the universe, if you are God? So where does that belief come from? She's saying if we tackle that one thing, everything else just opens up, because we are not limiting ourselves. We're not looking down at ourselves like, oh, that's shitty little human. We are seeing ourselves as the gods that we are. So then abundance, prosperity, energy flows just easily. So she's telling you to do some self-inquiry and do some inner alchemy regarding that.
Beautiful.
I've got a question here on YouTube. Let's see. Can Kari tell us what she's birthing and how does this apply to us collectively?
She's saying she's birthing everything. Let's get a more clear answer, though. She says that is clear, but let's see if she will continue expanding on that. She's saying, what is it that you want to create in your individual life? How about that? I'm turning the question to you. So worried about what I'm creating when I am part of Gaia, and so I create all. But what about you, human, is what she's saying. You are so powerful and create just as much as I am. And don't disbelieve that. And she's saying she's serious when she's asking you that, and she wants you to tell us in the chat. What are you creating? What would you like to create next? What do you feel is stopping you, if at all? And then she's saying, you didn't think that I would question you in that way, did you? Well, I always do.
That's why I love working with her.
How the tables have turned. They're loving the messages, by the way. They are interacting on chat saying that. And Julie said, everything is awesome. Now you're master builders. Yeah.
Yes.
What other questions do you have, guys?
Type it out for us, please.
Yep.
Did you hear that?
What?
A male voice?
No. What did he say?
Yeah.
Said yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ask further. Who's talking?
No, I thought
That should be your first question.
it was for use.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything either. Are you gonna ask?
No, I'm not interested. Let's move on. I thought it was like someone like.
Yeah, but you heard it, right?
Yeah.
So ask, who is it?
I don't know.
Isn't it so much fun to put Flavia on the spot? That's Isis, by the way.
So you don't know, which is why you ask.
Yeah, I just see Isis laughing. Like,
Okay. So
okay,
did you ask?
you're doing this, all right.
I don't know what you expect when it's Kali and Ice.
Yeah.
I think these things happen for a reason.
Totally.
I
Like,
don't even remember what we were talking about because for the
you asked just if anyone had any more questions and things like that. Nothing was happening. It was just a voice. So it was exactly in a moment where everything would be true.
but it was related to like, you know,
Okay,
when you're
stop
having a
the
conversation and the person goes like, yeah.
What happens when you say, who are you?
Oh God. I'm gigglish. I see a bald guy.
Good. What else?
Is Shiva bald?
I don't see ball, but that's not relevant.
Yeah, that's not relevant at all. Have you asked the question?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's no reason to be nervous. We're here creating this with you.
And you're safe.
I know. Thank you.
Do you, let me help you unravel. Do you not get any answer, or you feel like not sharing the answer?
I don't get any answer. Like I see the person. It's like a person, not a being. Does it make sense?
Yeah. But let's ask again.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? If it's a person, it's a who.
And take a breath first.
I don't know.
Is it that you don't feel or hear anything? Or do you still see him? Is it nerves?
Is it what?
Is it nerves?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous
Why are you nervous?
because I'm exposed.
What's exposing about this? You hear someone, a man's voice, that says, yeah, we are all part of the same community. We love you. We make fun of each other all the time.
Right?
We're literally channeling beings that are in other dimensions right now. So it is probably the most perfect place for you to even tap into this.
Yeah.
I don't get a name, but I'm seeing the letter M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the M, does that represent a symbol? Does that represent the name?
I think the name.
Why is he here?
Why would he not be?
Is that what he said?
Nah. Like,
Is he here to observe?
I think he's always here.
Connect with his energy. Stop trying to get a name or a face. Open the heart and let the energy be felt. Don't let your mind get in the way, basically. How does he feel?
He feels a little like Halo, but like a mixture of Halo and Julian.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
The first spirit guide from her that we connected with, Julian. That's his name.
I you hope.
Channeling classes live.
Right? Yeah, what else?
So it feels loving.
Yeah, very friendly. Like,
Does he want to tell us why he showed up right now and he let you hear his voice now?
I'm shook that no one else heard it.
So
Because it was very
For
clear.
a reason, you know?
What?
For a reason. And I'm not even connecting with his energy. Like, for some reason, I'm not meant to connect with this energy. Because you are.
yeah. Me neither. I'm just observing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just to mark presence.
It was what?
Just to establish presence. Like
Mhm.
to
Why? Or who?
initial introduction Oh, wait.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
So
telling
why
you.
now?
In a live event in the middle of everybody.
David heard it too.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
That's nice. But we're talking to you. So why now? Ask your friend. You spoke up. Now we have your attentions on you. So we'll give you the guy, whoever it is that you're feeling, not you specifically. We'll give him like 30 more seconds of attention. What would he like? What would he like to say? Why did he interrupt us? Why now?
Oh my God, so rude to interrupt.
That's perfectly fine. It's the perfect time and space for him to show up.
Agree to disagree. I'm too much in my head now. I can't do this anymore.
Okay, well, next time try not to look at the comments so that you're not distracted with other energies. But
yeah,
Kalima's going to take the grasp of you. She's saying, good job. Good job. We love you.
I love you too. Right.
Back to business.
Back to business, yeah. Next question is Kalima and Isis. What wisdom do you have for me as I journey on the road to unlearn codependency?
Who is this?
Santana.
Santana?
Yes.
Does Isis have anything?
I'm rereading it. Go back a little bit.
No, look at it too.
The thing I'm getting from Isis now is that whenever it is that you are unlearning something, you are breaking from a pattern, you are disconstructing, you are using that awareness of destruction. So what she would suggest is stepping into your own inner Kalima and allowing this alchemy to happen for you in your as you stand in your power. She's saying it is a journey into stepping into your power. So a very practical thing you can do is whatever given moment in your day, just ask yourself, how am I empowering myself now? Do I feel empowered here? Do I feel like I hold the power, we'll say, of my own creation, my own self? But I think she wants Kali to go.
Kali is talking about boundaries. It's super important as you learn your codependent behaviors, as you humans call it, to understand that no means no, and you do not have to do shit for anyone if you don't want to. What she's saying. Learn how to feel your emotions as they arise. Don't feel like now is a critical time for you to understand that all of your emotions are valid. So don't shut them down or mute them in any way, because that's disempowering for you. Allow all of the little fractals that we call inner child, anything like that, allow them to speak up, allow them to have a voice. That doesn't mean that you need to act on behalf of them. That just means let them be heard and stop stifling yourself. You can do this through journaling. You can do this through speaking to a talk therapist. There's many different options for you, but know that you're not in this alone, that you can always seek out your community for this, but boundaries are important, and understand that you as an empath have many different feelings. They're not all your own, and that you are not hurting anyone by taking care of yourself. that will only teach people how to take care of themselves as well.
Thank you. Next question we have is, how did they get in tune and balance their divine and masculine energy?
I'm looking for that comment.
It's from Golden Age Alchemy.
Okay. Oh, they meaning
Isis
Kali
and
and
Kali.
Kali. Yeah. Kali and Kali. Isis and Kali.
how did they get in tune with their
Divine masculine.
masculine energy? I'm getting a few different answers about this depending on the timeline. Do you feel the same?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like in some timelines it was like that physical presence was essential. So with Kali's counterpart, but then there were also times when she called in that energy within herself. And then there were also times when she just didn't need that and she didn't give a fuck about that label. It was just there the entire time. What about you and Isis?
Well, Isis tends to be very practical, which I love. So she's saying that what she used the most was alchemy and sacred sexuality as a practice, of alchemy. And of course, that starts with you and with yourself and understanding that you have both energies and you are both energies. And we label them, we categorize them so we can grasp in our human selves just how much we are, how much is available for us. That's why we even label them as such. So as we've done that, and as it is pertinent right now for whatever it is that we want to create, let's work with both of them instead of neglecting them. So she's saying that in her case, she used sacred sexuality in what we call now the alchemies of Horus first, which is the alchemy of practicing sacred sexuality just with yourself. And then the practices we call the alchemy of Isis, which is practicing with a partner. But the most important part of all of it is actually how you are a representation of both these energies, and many aspects in your life reflect these energies for you. So whenever it is that you are working with your divine masculine, for example, it is everything regarding the materialization of things and wishes. It is feeling safe and grounded, feeling powerful in your human self, right? And so everything regarding how you honor your humanness, your mind, the tools that you have to work with in this paradigm, in this reality of Earth, this dimension, that's the masculine. So whenever it is that you want to connect with the masculine, you can ask of yourself, how is my mind? How's the chatter in my mind? What thoughts are coming for me? How does it feel to be in my body? Is my body telling me any stories? How are my manifestations? What is the process in my own manifestations into creating things in a physical way? So all of those things can help you dive into understanding what the masculine means for you personally as well. But she used sacred sexuality, she's saying. That's how she tuned in. And she would do meditations. She would create herbal infusions and all sorts of alchemical things. She's saying what you call now some witchy things to help her become aware of how that divine masculine energy worked within her, because it might be slightly different for all of us. And balancing them out doesn't mean, and they say that all the time, doesn't mean like 50-50, 50 masculine, 50 feminine. No, it's 100% and 100%. It's not having one of them at 80 and the other one at 40, right? Both of them need to be 100% in their power, in their own throne, is what she's saying. So she said that that's the first thing that she started learning, even as herself. And she was one of the first beings to bring that in a more human way, a more practical way to Earth. So just now, as myself saying this, imagine the kind of work that she tapped into that no one has ever done, even the concept of dividing masculine and feminine and what sexual energy is in your body, what every other thing, the creation, every standpoint and every single thing, she brought that first. So if she wasn't into that feminine, that empowered feminine and empowered masculine, she wouldn't have been able to create this alchemy that it's still relevant today, that we are still using and still learning how to come across, how to understand today. So she needed to allow herself to make peace with all of those parts. So that's why she talks about the mind, for example. Her mind was 100% a tool. So she could understand the guidance she was receiving from her spirit guides, from the cosmos, from Gaia, and she could make it into something human to help your human self to adapt to that energy, or to open up to that energy, or to work with that energy at all, understand, or even be aware of that energy at all. So there's just so much power in allowing these things to just come through. So she's saying that that's what she wants you to do, Golden Age Alchemy, to allow things that are coming through for you, things that are very particular for you, that are very specific to you, and not put a damper in any of it, even if it's a little scary. And now she's looking at Flavia. And Flavia was not paying attention. That's why she wanted Flavia to say her name. So all of these things that are new to you, that are just calling you into just giving yourself into this newness, right? Because some things are very specific for you. So how does the divine masculine work with you, within you? What are the roles that you have assigned before you even took this body, for your masculine, for your feminine, and how do they work together? And how does it look, the balance of them? How does it look? And she's saying it's very easy, guys, for everyone wondering, like, if I have 100% balanced masculine and feminine within me, just think about your perfect life, the perfect version of all of your dreams, of every single thing you could ever want. She's saying that's what a balanced feminine and masculine looks like. Because what we keep doing by empowering one more than the other is that we take away from our own power of creation, because these two energies, they just work in unison. So if one energy is a little lazy, the other energy is going crazy here, so it's not fully there. So she's saying that if you ever wonder, okay, how am I 100% balanced, feminine and masculine right now? Are you living the best possible version of your life? Are you in that timeline that allows you to just be yourself 100%, be happy, to be abundant in every single way, to have all the manners of relationships you want to have all the riches of earth? And she's saying that's going to be different for everyone. Some people want a Lamborghini, some people just want a cottage in the woods. So are you living that fulfilling life every single day? And she's saying it's not to say that, for example, some days you want to experience grief, that some days you want to experience a little annoyance, or that you want to get a little bored. She's saying that's just within the spectrum of masculine and feminine, of duality on earth. But can you tap into your heart right now and tell yourself, I am here now living my best life. There is not one single thing I would change in my reality right now, because I am the love that I am. And every single thing in my reality is reflecting that. So, for example, she's telling me to look at the clutter in my space right now. It's not organized. So I cannot feel 100% happy about it, because I feel like I want to change. It's like, oh my God, this makes me a little, itchy. It's like, no, this is not perfect. So she's saying, so which one is it? It's a physical thing, it's your masculine. So even if it's not about me just shutting everything down now, she's saying you don't need to be that adamant about things. You can open space. You open space with your feminine. But sometimes you open too much space. You let things flow too much. So maybe what you can do with your masculine energy about the mess around you is not shut it off, is not just end it right here. She's saying you can perhaps later do it. If you don't feel like you can do that later, maybe you can try to hire someone to help you. Maybe you can find other people in your community that can help you. So she's saying, do you understand the balance of feminine and masculine here? Opening space for things to happen around you, but still be in the forefront of how you want your life to be, how you want things to be around you, and understanding that both of them are completely fine. So it's not about just laying on the sea and be floating there and letting the current take you anywhere. Sometimes it is about that, so then you can rest your arms. But if there's that island, and in that island, you know that every single dream you've ever dreamed of is there for you, you will probably swim. So if you have that will of swimming, and if you have the ability to even think about it, that's the masculine within you. And the wish of creation, the wish and the dream that is there on that island, that's the feminine. So she's saying that it's playing thousands of roles in your life, in your day-to-day life, all the time. But if you ever wonder if you have your masculine and feminine 100% balanced, look around you, tap into your heart and ask yourself, am I living right now in this moment my best life? That's how you can tap into those things. So yeah, she can talk.
I love how practical Isis is, because Kali does not like labels. So when she even sees the phrase divine masculine, she's like, what is that? Like, go deeper with that. What does that mean for you? What does it mean that you are sensing or wanting more of, or feeling that you're lacking? Like, what? Let's go deeper than that label for you. And that's awesome that like Isis was one of the first to turn that into something more practical, because it makes Kali just want to like roll her eyes when she sees like that.
And for some people, as is saying, that works better, right? It is to just not label things. And she's saying that if it's working for you in a way that it's too empowering for your human, then use it. If it's not empowering for your human, if it feels like there's this force around, surrounding, above you, in any case, even if it is within you that is moving the pieces for you and is setting the stage for you, she's saying that then it's not working. So empower yourself, empower your human. That's why she is so practical, she's saying that it's because we need to learn once and for all as a collective, as humans, that we are not away from that goddess Isis. She was human too. So she tends to humanize everything, which I personally love, and I feel is so in alignment with what I'm here to do, you know? So I love working with her, even though I absolutely adore the Kali just rolling her eyes like, oh my God, this again. Some days it's like, yeah, I don't want to hear about any of this.
So we just have a few minutes, right? So any questions that we can respond to pretty quickly? Because they like to talk when they get on their roll.
Okay, I'm gonna go then reading. Julie asked if you're gonna go into trance. Not this time.
She was asking you, Flavia.
No, you. It was before.
I think it was because you were talking about you're gonna get into your Kali mode.
Yeah.
But it's
really?
Yeah.
Does Kali have any special connection to South Africa at this point of ascension?
She is the divine mother, so she has a connection everywhere. And she's saying, what can she help you with, my dear? She says to call on her. Don't be shy either. But if there's a specific energy that you'd like to bring to your lands, to your homelands, then call on her and be specific with your intentions.
Next question is, I'm healing the pain in my right shoulder, but I don't know if I'm doing it well because the pain is still here. What can I do? Any advice? From Yvonne.
Kali is like, what a disempowering statement to begin with. Let us read that again. Break that down. Can you please say that again?
So I'm healing the pain in my right shoulder.
You are feeling it or healing it?
Healing.
Okay.
With H. But I don't know if I'm doing it well because the pain is still here. What can I do?
What do you mean you don't know if you're doing it well? That's what Kali Ma wants to know. There are a million questions that she has for you.
Let me see.
I was like, can I tap in a little bit?
Yeah.
She's like, let me human this a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna need to, but Kali says wait first. Kali says, She wants to completely deconstruct your disempowering statement because what she hears is reluctance and hesitancy that you're not doing well enough with whatever it is that your body is showing you, saying to you, telling you. And she doesn't like that. And so she does not want anyone to give you the answers. She knows that you have the answers already, but you just don't want to hear it right now. So why don't you trust yourself? Let's see what Isis has to say, and then hopefully she'll respond too. Don't give it all away, Isis, is what Kali is saying.
Yeah, she was gonna say the same thing. She just said, she said it.
Okay.
She's saying, sorry to interrupt you, sister, but some people need tough love.
Some people need a little shaking. She is utterly unfazed. That's Isis.
Next question we have is, would love to know what more I can do to help my daughter who is going through an emotionally challenging time, trying to help knowing it is her path, but I'm still a mother.
Who?
From MC.
I think this is for Isis.
Yeah, she's saying, keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing her the example of the empowered woman that you are, and giving her space to work it through without coddling her, of course, and suffocating her, which you don't do at all, she's saying. So basically, she's just telling you to keep doing what you are already doing in this situation, because your daughter is going to need some time. There's a very strong alchemy occurring within her right now. So she needs to know that you are there, that you are there to support her if she wants to talk, if she wants to express anything, but she also needs some time, some space, so then she can unravel this by herself. So just keep remembering exactly what you said, that she is her own god, her own goddess, and she's got this. And just if you feel like you want to do something, let her know that you are here for her, that you are present, and whatever it is that she wants, she can ask. And she's saying that, of course, there is balance, and there is you playing this role and your own boundaries with this. So make sure that you have your own boundaries with this situation with your kids. And she's saying that for every mom. It's interesting. She was talking about sacrifice today as I was getting ready. And we talked about that, Alana, like people saying that moms need to sacrifice everything for kids and how that triggers, because I don't believe that's the case. And then I was asking her about that, because she's also a mom. And she got to do everything she wanted to do, and kids never stopped her from doing things that she wants to do. And she was saying that it's only a sacrifice if it feels like you're giving away a part of you, if you feel like you are diminishing yourself, if you feel like you are playing the martyr role. If it feels good for you, it's not a sacrifice. So it doesn't matter how other people will see it. It's, of course, that she has a very good inner compass of what is loving for her and what isn't. If she is bypassing something just by saying, oh, but this is loving for me, because there is a balance there and a lot that we can dive into it, which we don't have time now. But she was saying that if it's only a sacrifice if it hurts. If it doesn't, then it's not a sacrifice. So whatever other people say, that's their business, not yours.
Surrender, not sacrifice.
Yes.
Okay, so this is great. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Flavia, for being the example.
Oh my God.
Looking forward to the next time.
That was fun.
So if anyone would like to connect more with Kali Ma's energy, I'm launched my second Patreon this month. It contains psychic development, channeled messages, and we have a specific Christ conscious being that we'll be channeling per month. And so the channeling circle, where I kind of meditate with you guys to get ground the energy of the being, and then we receive messages and blessings from the being. We're doing that with Kali Ma this month. That will be on the 25th. So you can join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Alana Heavenly. And Lightworkers613 doing so many cool stuff right now. They have an amazing Etsy. We collaborated on some Kali Ma stuff. So Annie has this beautiful artwork of Kali Ma, and then there's a channeled message as well. There's so much other stuff on the store, on the Etsy store too. And then you guys have a Patreon. You want to say something quick about that?
We have another live event on our Patreon right now, right after this, in like half an hour.
Yeah.
So that's for all tiers. If you want to join, it's an Ask Us Anything. We don't have anyone in specific that is coming through to be channeled. So we just answer whatever questions you might have and give whatever messages that come through. So that's what we are doing right about now. And also, we want to invite all of you to participate in our Temple of the Cosmos that we are just starting to create, and we are very excited for. And this month, oh my God.
Speaking of excited,
You are doing a great job, Flavia, holding Stella. I don't know, like, oh my God, great.
Listen, every day is a new thing.
But that's a good example how Stella doesn't care if she falls. She just takes that leap anyway.
Right?
Yeah, because
Wants to be, guys. We should all be like Stella.
and she not only brave, but that's the first time she jumped.
Yeah. Well,
So
in
you guys
this
get to
life,
see,
two
to
times.
see that on camera. Anyways, guys, so
Temple of the Cosmos. Yes.
Yes. Talking about
It's
prosperity.
a 7-module study that we're doing with Myrrh and Sarah, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene's daughters. This month is about prosperity. We have guided meditation, self-inquiry, all that fun stuff. You guys have a live event in 40 minutes, under 40 minutes, and I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
this was so much fun. Thank you so much. I love working with you.
Love
Absolutely.
you, ladies.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
you.
you guys for being here.